Hello and welcome to CASE All District Conference attendees. This lightning talk gives a quick overview of CASE's much anticipated global reporting standards. I am Cara Giacomini, CASE's new Chief Research and Data Officer. I oversee the standards and CASE's benchmarking surveys and research projects, and these all fall under the AM Atlas umbrella. The CASE Global Reporting Standards are foundational to our profession. They provide a common touchstone to guide our work in fundraising. So why are these standards important? First of all, they reflect global perspectives common around the world, while also addressing regional nuances with country-specific supplements. And this is a new direction for CASE in how we have presented our standards. Compared to past editions, which really had a US focus. And so this is a really exciting change that really reflects the one CASE philosophy that shapes all of the work that we do. It's also really important because it provides consistency and transparency in reporting of institutional progress in fundraising. These standards become a foundation to make sure that we know that we are looking at the same things when we're talking about the work that we're doing in advancement. And the part that really excites me the most is that the CASE Global Reporting Standards enable benchmarking, both at the regional level and the global level. And being able to really make comparisons around the globe is an exciting development and one that my team is working towards with updates to our AM Atlas surveys to incorporate the new standards. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. So how are the new standards created? Well, a working group met monthly for the past 2.5 years. And so they've really explored all of the different nuances of what it means to have global standards that we are reporting on in fundraising. There was also broad consultation from membership, and a group of regional volunteers helped develop specific regional supplements that are part of the new standards. So a little bit of a timeline here. You will notice that the first standards from CASE came out in 1979, and there have been 4 editions. These have all been based pretty heavily on the US tax code and really set some of the establishments that we've all been following in the United States for quite some time. But you'll notice that the last edition of the standards, the 4th edition, was published in 2009. And obviously, it was time for an update. So in 2018 to 2020, a working group consisting of representatives from CASE's member base revised and updated the new standards. And they really made them global standards for the first time, which is why we're announcing the first global edition. And that will be published in March of this year and includes supplementary chapters for the US, Canada, Mexico, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore to supplement the global chapters. So this really provides a comprehensive view of fundraising metrics and consistent standards around the world. In 2021 to 2022, so this is ongoing right now, the AM Atlas team is piloting a core metrics, which are our first global benchmarks that include not only fundraising, but also alumni engagement and marketing and communications. And they will become a part of our surveys going forward to really start to establish a global view of the work that we're doing, while also keeping our regional focus intact for the specific surveys we do in various regions. And so the goal here is to have in 2022, the CASE reporting standards incorporated into all of our surveys. So we really start counting according to the new standards for that 2022 data collection, which will encompass the fiscal year of 2022 and usually happens for most of you in the fall of 2022. For our Asia Pacific region, that actually happens in the winter of 2023. So stepping back and looking at AM Atlas, the CASE Global Reporting Standards really are the foundation of all of the work we do. And we have a number of surveys that layer on top of those, including our regional fundraising surveys, such as the Voluntary Support for Education, our Canadian survey, our CASE Ross survey in the UK, our Australia, New Zealand survey. We also have some special topics and regional projects that we explore, our alumni engagement metrics, which are global metrics looking at various aspects of alumni engagement, as well as we'll have a new survey coming out soon based on the standards, which really looks at campaign reporting. Now, our core metrics pilot links many of these pieces together, and as I mentioned before, is our first global comprehensive survey, which is looking at fundraising, alumni engagement, and a new area of marketing and communications, which is something we'll be expanding more into the future. And just as our surveys are incorporating the global reporting standards, we will be the team updating these standards going forward with input from all of you. And some of the things we're incorporating into our surveys, such as ways of measuring alumni engagement, will start to become a part of future editions of the standards, now that a framework has been established for how we define things across the globe. I've also highlighted here the future work in DEI, which will be incorporated into what we're doing, and it hasn't been decided exactly where some of those questions will live, probably within a variety of different surveys and maybe within some special focus. So watch for more on that soon, but these are the directions that we are moving within AM Atlas. So now for the heart of why you're here today, I want to give you a sneak peek of some of the things that are new in the first edition of the CASE Global Reporting Standards. So foundational to this edition is a definition of educational philanthropy. And this definition is centered on a shared philosophy of what matters for our profession rather than on regional tax codes. So this is really what unites us all as advancement professionals. So the new definition of educational philanthropy put forth by the standards is that educational philanthropy is a voluntary act of providing private financial support to nonprofit educational institutions. To be categorized as philanthropy in keeping with CASE standards, such financial support must be provided for the sole purpose of benefiting the institution's mission and its social impact, without the expressed or implied expectation that the donor will receive anything more than recognition as a result of such support. We've also clarified within the standards two main types of contributions. The first is funds received, and this will be familiar to any of you who have completed the Voluntary Support for Education survey. This is really the monies and property received within a reporting year from an individual or qualified organization. This is including your outright gifts, payments received on pledges, irrevocable planned gifts, and realized bequests and legacies, so the funds that you've really brought in the door within that year. Now, the second area is new funds committed. And this will be familiar to many of our constituents and members who had to take the CASE Ross survey in the UK. It's a new concept for others, and what it really does is highlight our fundraising activity in a year. So new funds committed are monies and properties committed in the reporting year from any individual or qualified organization, which includes outright gifts, documented pledges for up to 5 years, irrevocable planned gifts, and new qualified and documented bequests, legacy intentions. And we've set 65 as an age qualifier for counting bequests and legacy intentions going forward, so that we have a standard practice in this area. And also when reporting to AM Atlas surveys, we will always be tracking bequests and legacy intentions separately so they can be combined into some of these numbers, or you can see them without. Some other significant decisions are that we're looking at preferential seating for arts and athletics as something that can be counted for the amount in excess of any quantifiable tangible donor benefits received. So this allows the counting of these gifts, but not for any part that has a tangible benefit associated. On the other hand, government funds are not counted, including funds from pass-through governmental grants. Conditional pledges will count as pledges, and donor-advised funds are counted only when the funds are received for use by the institution. And there's a variety of other decisions and information that you will want to see as a part of the new standards. This just gives you a quick sneak peek. So you can purchase the standards at this point as a pre-order. Right now, the pre-order for the print edition is available on the CASE website. And there will soon be information about a new digital subscription, which will give individuals access to an online version that is searchable and will have more frequent updates than print. So it allows you to see some of the things as we're updating as time goes on. So these are available now as a pre-order if you visit the bookstore, or at least the print edition is, and the digital subscription will be coming soon. And you also will have heard from them in many of your conference materials. So some key takeaways from this lightning talk. Obviously, the first case global reporting standards are coming soon, and I hope you're all as excited about them as I am. There are some significant changes from previous editions that you will want to begin to familiarize yourself with before they become integrated into how we report for the 2022 AM Atlas surveys. There's also going to be more frequent updates and additions going forward. I guarantee we will not wait over a decade to update these standards again. They'll be living and breathing and a part of the work of AM Atlas and of CASE as we move forward. And you can right now pre-order a copy of the standards. So enjoy your time at the All Districts Conference, and thanks for joining me today.